Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him. Learning objectives. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. How are you? Our lesson today is about the companion Uthman bin Affan. May Allah be pleased with him. Let's begin. We know that the most beloved of men to the Prophet, peace be upon him, is the companion of migration, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. May Allah be pleased with him. He was the first of men that believed in the Prophet, peace be upon him. We also know that the second most beloved man to the Prophet, peace be upon him, is the brave and strong companion, Al-Faruq, Umar bin al-Khattab. May Allah be pleased with him. However, who do you think is the third most beloved man to the Prophet, peace be upon him? Do you know him? Well done, my friends. He is the great companion, Uthman bin Affan. May Allah be pleased with him. He is one of the men who provided money for the sake of carrying the message of Islam to please Allah Almighty. His name is Uthman bin Affan bin Abi al-As. He was born in Ta'if 6 years after the year of the elephant. He was raised and brought up in a house of honor and generosity. His nickname was Dhun-Nurayn. He was murdered in the year 35 after the Hijrah and was buried in Al-Baqiyah. Now let's learn about his status in Islam. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, is one of the scribes of the Holy Quran. He was one of the first to embrace Islam. He is one of the 10 companions giving glad tidings of paradise. In fact, he is the third after Abu Bakr and Umar ibn al-Khattab. May Allah be pleased with them. Uthman married Ruqayyah, the daughter of the Prophet, peace be upon him. After her passing, Uthman married his other daughter, Kulthum. Uthman bin Affan was nicknamed Dhun-Nurayn because he married 2 daughters of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Now let's learn about the qualities for which Ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, was famous. Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, had great qualities for which he was known, including modesty and shyness, crying in reverence of Allah, and generosity. The person that described Uthman bin Affan's quality of modesty and shyness is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said about Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, "Should I not show modesty to one whom even the angels show modesty?" It was also known about him that he was often engaged in reading the Quran, and he would be deeply moved by the words of Allah Almighty, causing his heart to soften. This made him cry in awe and reverence of Allah Almighty. As for his generosity, he used to provide wealth to support Islam and the Muslims. He bought a well called the Rum Well and dedicated it for Muslims to drink from it for the sake of Allah Almighty. And now let's talk about the honorable companion Uthman bin Affan and his Khalifa. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, assumed that Khalifa of the Muslims, meaning he took charge of their affairs. This was after the martyrdom of Al-Faruq, the second Khalifa of the Muslims, Umar ibn al-Khattab. May Allah be pleased with him. So Uthman was the third Khalifa of the Muslims after the passing of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, did many noble and significant things while serving as the Khalifa for the Muslims in their lands. His continuation in spreading Islam throughout the world was to follow the path of the last of the prophets, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, transcribed the Quran into several copies and sent them to different Islamic cities. Cities like Dimashq, Basra, and Medina. This was after Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him, put together the Quran during his Khalifa. The copy of the Quran that Uthman bin Affan had transcribed came to be known as Mus'haf of Uthman. Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, was also the first to order the expansion of the Prophet's mosque. He was the first to establish the police force, aiming to promote security and safety in the community. He was also the first to allocate a specific place for the judiciary. He was truly an excellent and righteous companion. May Allah be pleased with him. So, my friends, today we learned that the noble companion of Uthman bin Affan, known as Dhun-Nurayn, which means the possessor of the two lights, was the husband of the Prophet's daughters, Ruqayya and Kulthum. May Allah be pleased with them all. And we learned about the qualities of Uthman bin Affan, who was known for his modesty and shyness, crying in reverence of Allah and his generosity. And we learned about the most important deeds done by Uthman bin Affan while being the Khalifa of the Muslims after Umar ibn Khattab, Allah be pleased with him. They were continuing the spread of Islam, transcribing the Quran into a manuscript known as the Mus'haf of Uthman, expanding the Prophet's mosque, establishing the police force, establishing a place for the judiciary. And we learned that the noble companion of Uthman bin Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, was murdered in the year 35 after Hijrah and was buried in Al-Baqiyah. With this, our lesson is done. See you again, my friends.